Pizza guy.
You're not pizza. Who are you guys?
Road trips. Today on Road Trips, we head for the Old West to check out the real-life ghost town of Berlin, Nevada. Vehicle for this episode, 1995 Ford Escort LX wagon. And cast for this edition, myself, Todd Hilton, and rejoining us for the third season, my wife, Holly Hilton. The maps are out and the camera's rolling, so now, let's hit the road. Hello everyone, and welcome to this edition of Road Trips. I'm Todd Hilton, and joining me for this edition is my wife Holly.
Hi.
And we're going to be taking you out in the middle of nowhere. We're starting this episode out here in the vast Nevada desert in a little place called Middlegate, Middleton, something like that. Just off of Highway 50, which I guess is also known as the loneliest road in America or something like that.
See why?
Yeah, we can see why. If you ever drive through here, you'll know. But very, very picturesque. If you drive through there, it's just incredible looking at the hills. And I believe we drove through some salt fields or something. That's what salt flats. That's what they looked like. As you can hear, it's extremely quiet out here. Anyway, our destination today is the ghost town of Berlin. That is the Berlin, Nevada, not Berlin, Germany. And that's going to be in that direction. We're going to be showing you that, and possibly one or two other towns if they happen to be within our range. Going to take a look at those and take a step back in time and hopefully have some fun. So,
well, let's go.
Let's do it. So we're off.
Yep, and the town of Middlegate, it looks like it consists of a
gas station, a store,
and a supposed motel. It's more like a shack.
Okay. Well, we hope you enjoyed the town of Middlegate as we enjoyed bringing
It's one of those towns where you definitely blink, might miss it.
So, whoops, there it went.
Okay, the speed has went down to 55 here.
Yeah, in some areas it's clear up to 70. Well, actually, we're approaching a 70 limit right now. Which is understandable when you see the area that you're driving through here, which consists of nothing. So I think we're actually heading south now on, 151? I think it was 151. It says on the map.
Let me double check.
Okay. Hold that. Okay. Holly's going to check the map here. Actually, Holly's usually the navigator when she rides along here, and our resident historian. She looks up all the pertinent information that we need for our destination.
And it's 361.
361.
That's why it didn't sound right.
Okay.
I was like, 151?
I knew there was a 1 in there somewhere. What do we know about our destination?
Well, Well, let's see.
In our handy-dandy book here.
I've got a book here called Nevada Ghost Town Trails. It's basically tells all of the ghost towns in Nevada. And let me just flip to Berlin.
Very fascinating book. I highly recommend picking it up if you ever get a chance.
It's actually quite inexpensive.
We bought it last time we visited the area.
Yeah, it was like $5.95. All right, Berlin, a mining town of late 1800s located at the base of the Shoshone Mountains of the Okay. Excuse the mispronunciation. It's spelled Toiyaba. Toyaba Range.
Huh.
The old boarding house, a say office, and mill buildings are still standing along with a couple of dwellings. Now, around that area, there's also the ghost town of Ione, Ellsworth, and Grantsville.
Now, I think Grantsville they showed a picture of, didn't they?
Yeah, the next page, Grantsville, it basically looks like all that's left is just a house that was built into the hillside. A
That's out of
doorway and a
rock
window,
there.
yeah. Small town of the 1870s that reached a peak population of 1,000, located in a canyon just south of... Oh, another one. It's Tayauser State Park. It's spelled ICHTHYASAU.
Oh, that's I believe that's ichthyosaur.
Ichthyosaur State Park. Thank you.
Yeah, because this actually is another part of the country where dinosaur bones were found.
Ah. Now, Ichthyosaur State Park, the town has melted away and only a few buildings are left standing. Many foundations cover the site, and the size of the mill tailings that extend down the canyon attest to the amount of mining done here.
Yeah, the history in this area alone would just just blow you away. I mean, there's so much living and dead history, I guess, for lack of a better term. You could spend a week easily just investigating Virginia City. This is my fourth time in the area, Holly's third time, and we still have not seen everything in the immediate area. This is our first time venturing away from that spot.
But believe me, when we were there, we packed everything I could conceivably think of in there.
We've passed a few towns along the way on our trip here, between Virginia City and where we're at now. One town called Fallon, I think it was.
Yes, Fallon.
That's a neat little town. It's one of those where it just comes out of the desert, out of the middle of nowhere, and it looks like a normal town. They've got trees and grass, and it just looks like a normal Western States town. And
They had grass and trees.
Grass, which is unusual for this, because if you can see, if you see where we're at, it looks nothing like that town.
I still want to take a sagebrush, dig it up, take it home, and plant it. I have this bad problem of remembering to water. I'm sure it'll thrive real well, I promise.
Yeah, I don't know. Whoa.
What?
Had a close flyer there, a bird flying in the front of the car. I think we barely missed it. But this is an area where you got to remember your road trip's essentials: antifreeze, water, a jack, all your automotive essentials, because you sure as hell don't want to break down out here.
Extra gas,
yeah. We are right now between half and 3/4 of a tank. We went about 100 miles and only used a quarter of a tank, so that's not too bad in this car.
Oh, and bring lots of stuff to drink.
Oh yes, definitely. Not only for your car, but for yourself. Okay.
A sign.
We've got a sign. What do we got?
Mineral County line.
Yeah, see, there's one. There's a bull sign. Open range. Now, that's one thing you don't see in our neck of the woods, where you see like the deer signs, deer crossing.
They have bulls.
We got bull. That's no bull. Okay, that was stupid. But that. Yeah, I can honestly say I've never seen a bull crossing sign.
And they do have wild horses through here.
Yes, this is all completely open country, so you'll have plenty of run-on space when you arrive. Sorry. But seriously, on that note, sorry, I'm quoting Back to the Future 3 here, but seriously, it's that way. I mean, this place, there's no doubt that this area looked just like this 100 years ago.
Except the fence line.
Except the fences and the road, of course. But I mean, there are no trees, there's nothing but sagebrush and rock.
Broken Hills, 2 miles away, and Quartz Mountain.
That's a ghost town, hon.
Is it?
Yes, it is. It's in the book. We're approaching a couple of spots here in the distance. I'm not exactly sure if that's our destination or what. There's something there in the hills in front of us. I'm guessing, I don't know, my judgment's a little bit off, but I'm going to guess that's, what would you say, 5-10 miles away?
It looks about that. It looks more like not really a town. It looks more like a mining area.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't tell from here. Off to our off in this direction, I see another what looks like a settlement of some type.
Yes, there's a scattering of houses off to the left.
I'm not sure what we're approaching here. From Highway 50, it was 51 miles to Berlin. I'm not. What?
Big Bird.
Oh, okay. I wish I'd kept track. I'm not sure how far we've gone from Highway 50.
Well, there is a sign up ahead. A couple of them, actually.
So we'll see what we're approaching here.
Okay. Off to the left is the state park. That's 844. Now, did we need to turn on 844? I believe we did.
Okay.
Gabs,
that must be what's up there, off to our right.
Actually, let me double check the map.
I think this is a good time to take a break. We'll come right back as soon as we figure out where the heck we're supposed to go.
Yeah, let's pull over. I'd like to get the binoculars too and get a closer look at that.
Yeah, so we'll be right back, folks.
Okay. There's only one way to turn onto 844.
Yep.
It's one way. It's
Check
that way.
I'll look at the monitor and see what we're getting.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Okay, Gab's post office. Open range. Bulls. Okay.
That's bull. Okay.
Yeah, I really like this thing.
Yeah.
Can we keep this? Poachers. Poachers?
Out here?
Yeah, report poachers, $1,000 fine or $1,000 reward. What would they poach?
Bull? I don't know.
Horse?
That's the only signs I've seen out here for any kind of wildlife other than birds or something.
Well, Virginia City, they had quail crossing. That was kind of cute. And while you were taking the mine tour, I was listening to the gentleman talk. He said this morning he had about 5 horses in his yard.
Really?
Yeah. And wow, that looks like a remnants of something.
Something, yeah.
And along that line, he also, as he was leaving to go to work, he had a mama quail cross the road with a bunch of baby quails. He said they were so tiny it looked like they might have just hatched the day before. They were like that big.
Huh. Yeah, we did see a sign there, said quail crossing.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke.
Yeah, they weren't kidding.
I saw a most awesome sign that said "Which paying $17 for a sign." Yeah.
We can make one for less than that.
Yeah, grab a piece of paper and a marker.
Yeah. Well, folks, I don't think you get farther out of nowhere than this. There's like nothing here. All I see is the little reflectors on the side of the road here. No telephone poles, no nothing.
And all I see is squashed buggies on the windshield.
Ew.
Huh?
The boogies?
Look.
Yeah. I see the boogies.
I'm sure our viewers can see the buggies.
Actually, I don't know. I don't think they can.
Good.
Which is good because that gives a better view through the windshield.
Now, what's this? We might be coming across something.
Yeah, or what's something? What
was
of
something?
Wall or something? I don't know. Or maybe it's just a formation.
Well, slow down. Yeah.
Different kind of rock through here.
Yeah.
Well, they cut this section of the road right through that rock.
Yeah, they did.
That's weird because that's a totally different kind of rock than what we're traveling through.
Yeah. Unless, of course, that's the stuff that they pull up.
Well, now we're traveling east again, I believe. It's hard to tell. We got something off to our right. I can't really tell. Always going to look through the binoculars here, see if we can figure it out.
It just looks like some remnants of some mining.
Yeah.
Some of the slag that slides down the hill, basically, the dump.
Now, is that what all the deals there in Virginia City are? You see they're kind of a tannish color.
The off color, it looks like a mudslide type. Yeah.
Right.
That is the I guess you'd say the junk from the mine that nobody needs.
Toyabe. Okay, that's what you were talking about a while ago.
Mm-hmm. The Toyabe National Forest.
Okay, now I'm wondering if our destination is clearly marked, because now it does appear on the Nevada state map, but we have a separate map that's in our Ghost Town book, and so I don't know if all the roads are going to be clearly marked.
Well, according to the map in the Nevada Ghost Town trails, Berlin is at the end of 844.
Oh, right. Now it looks like at least the way they've shown it in the book, it may turn from pavement to gravel. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Wow.
The view is
spectacular. Yeah. I tell you what, actually, I think we're going here in a great time of day, because it's early evening here, and there's nobody out here.
Yeah, it's about 7:30.
Yeah.
And I am getting hungry. I skipped breakfast. Lunch consisted of an ice cream cone.
And then we had our chocolate-covered cheesecake, courtesy of the Chocolate Nugget Candy Factory.
There goes my diet.
Yeah.
I know, and I couldn't resist. I bought a quarter pound of, I ended up walking away with a full pound of fudge of 4 different kinds. There was solid peanut butter, solid chocolate, and then there was the peanut butter chocolate mix, and of course your favorite, the Rocky Road.
Oh yeah. Yeah, which we have yet to dig into, but we're going to save that. I'd like to wait until we can refrigerate it for a while.
Yeah, I think it's been sitting in the backseat melting.
Probably. It's kind of spendy, but boy, is it worth it, because the stuff is made right there at that store. It's just great. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. I don't know how much farther we got to go, so I think we're going to take another break, and as soon as we get a little closer to our destination, we'll come back and continue rolling some tape. So we'll be right back.
No, that's
gotta be
like it. It looks like it could be. I could be mistaken.
What's kind of funny is it doesn't, I mean, just from here, it doesn't look like it matches the picture in the book, but I'm sure once we get there, it'll look totally different.
Now, what does that say? Berlin, straight ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And what does that sign say? Grantsville. Was that another one?
Yes, that was the one that was like 4 miles away.
Oh, that's right.
And that's the one picture we saw. It showed like one rock building.
Mm-hmm.
So we're definitely out in the boonies.
Yes.
Now Ione, that was
Ione.
Some kind of a small town. It said like food, gas, and groceries. So.
Yeah, so there are inhabitants there.
Yes, there are people. There are a few scattered people around this desolate area here, which is probably a good thing, because I tell you what, you burn up a tank of gas real quick out here. we're down to half a tank now.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We've gone 152 miles.
No, that's about right for this car.
Yep.
And the gas here was quite inexpensive. It was like what?
Compared to home, it's geez,
$15 to fill the tank, or no? It was 13.
Well, we weren't completely on empty either.
No, but we were on like less than an eighth of a tank. Well, it definitely looks like there is some ghost town.
Yes.
Some don't know how much. It looks like there's a actual house occupied out here.
Yes.
What I'm trying to figure out is where in the world do they have electricity? I'm looking and I don't see nothing. Okay, it is speed limit 10 miles an hour and speed bumps. As if the road isn't bad enough. Oh my gosh, there's an outhouse.
Outhouse out here.
A little wooden outhouse.
Okay, folks, we are here. This is the town of Berlin. At least what's left of it. We're gonna walk around, show you what we can. Apparently, this is actually a state park, as well as being a ghost town. There is a $3 fee for day use per vehicle, so be aware of that. But as we look around here, you can tell these buildings are pretty old. They've been here a long, long time. Here's some information here. Actually called Berlin Ichthyosaur State Park. Here's a photograph. Here's an old photograph of the town. I'm not sure what year that was taken. Okay, so there's that. So we turn around and look at the real thing. You can see what's left. You can tell that not all the buildings in the picture are still there. We're going to walk around, take a look here, meet back up with Holly. What'd you find?
Okay, right here is where this was considered the charcoal yard. This is where they stored bags and bags and bags of charcoal. And that was to ignite the fires for the mill. Now up above was the clubhouse. It was a 2-story building.
Walk up there.
Yeah, go ahead.
We haven't seen here.
It's really interesting, and the reason being that it collapsed is, according to what was written up there, was that somebody had removed some of the the posts and stuff to weaken it.
Support.
And it collapsed in itself. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I also got a handy-dandy little map that tells where everything is.
Cool. Okay, be right back here. Show you folks this clubhouse, I guess, as it was. What's left of it. See, it collapsed there. It's too bad. Clubhouse. The 2-story building that stood here was called the clubhouse. It might have been erected to house the mine and mill office. But during the years from 1906 to 1908, it was used as quarters for visiting company officials and local supervisors that did not have families. The bedrooms were upstairs and the lower floor was a lounge. In the years following 1945, someone removed lumber from the partition walls, thus weakening the building. And it finally collapsed. So that's too bad. So apparently it's been collapsed for quite some time now, as you can see. Quite a shame, actually. But fortunately for us, there's still several buildings intact, and we'll go take a look at those. Assay office.
Assay office. If you look in the window here, they've got it padlocked, but you can get an idea of what it looked like inside. You can see the big, large chimney that's right there.
Yeah.
And the old pie safe type cabinet.
Pie safe?
Yeah, the reason they call it a pie safe is because somebody has punched out on. They use like a metal from like old pie plates flattened out.
Oh, really?
And they punched in designs, see?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you come to the front and look in here, you get an idea of some of the. This broken glass is some of the glass that they've excavated.
Huh.
More bottles and stuff. Some of it looks pretty new, but then you look at it and it's rounded. It's not like the cheap beer bottle glasses they make these days, some ceramic.
Right.
But in
Very
here's
thick,
the
too.
old typewriter and a bigger view of the room inside.
Gotta get that. There we go. And we can see inside there. Some broken glass there on the ground.
Yeah. Some pieces of metal.
Okay, so that's the assay office.
Now over here is the remnants of boarding house. Right here.
Okay.
And there's no sign, but according to my map, this was the old boarding house right here. Looks like all that's left is some sidewalk.
Really?
And some broken boards that have fallen in on themselves. And a lot of, if you look, bricks. Okay. Where do you want to go from here? We can go that way or that way? Let's go ahead and go that way.
Yeah, since that's closer. Go up there.
Okay, that is...
That's interesting. I wonder what that was.
Number 3. That is the machine shop. Now, on the other side of the say office, there was a stagecoach shop. They did a lot of repair for stagecoaches.
Oh.
If they do some excavating there, more likely they'll find some old nails, some old, stagecoach stuff.
Yeah.
And that would have been right about here.
Okay.
You're also asked not to remove any of the artifacts.
Which is understandable.
The stage driver and his horse were housed under one roof in this building. A partition made of lumber separated the dwelling section from the barn. The small corral was attached to the south section, and the door leading to the barn could be closed in cold weather. The men that drove stage from 1904 until 1924 were John Mullen, Ed Derringer, and Alex Dreyer. Alex used horses until 1915. On his first trip by Model T, the car quit him at the Derringer Ranch. He caught a ride into Ione for help, and Albert Mayet and Furman Bruner drove him back to his car and got it started.
Huh.
I don't know if you can see in. It looks like this section was at one time the barn section.
Yeah, looking through the window here, you can see bookshelves, complete with books. Chair there. Actually, a few relatively modern things. Ooh.
Bug. My ear. Yuck. Don't like the buggies in the ear.
Now this thing is full of, is that coal?
It looks like coal. Feels like coal. It's consistency of coal. I'm gonna say.
That's coal.
That's coal. That's a coal.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, shall we move on to the next building?
Absolutely.
Old machinery of some type up here.
Several bits and pieces of it. Look, there's some more machinery and some wood and stuff.
Yeah.
Ah, there's a sign down there that probably says what the building is.
Yes.
I'm going to take a look. Hey, honey, come look at this.
Oh, wow. We're gonna have to look at that.
Careful going down.
Okay.
That's a stove. That's a very old stove.
Whoa. Very old stove. What's for dinner?
Oh, I ain't cooking on this. I can hardly cook at home.
Rust?
Little bits of porcelain.
Huh.
An old can.
Looks like it's pork and beans again, right?
Wrought
Wow.
Iron Range Company, St. Louis manufacturers. Doesn't
Wow.
have a year on it, but I'm gonna.
It's kind of unusual because a lot of these do. Does it say on the other side? There's a little tag on the other side. Or does it say the same thing?
Nope, same thing.
Okay. Wow.
But it was for a large.
Yeah, that's a big stove, even
That
for
is
back
a very
then.
big stove. Yes. Quite agree. No, it's kind of-
Looks like another
Oh,
piece of the same machine.
look.
Oh yeah.
Parts.
Yeah, we got an old truck here.
This is the machine shop. This building contained the blacksmith shop and was equipped with power-driven drill presses. Therefore, it was called the machine shop. The crew of mechanics that worked here kept all the mine and mill machinery running smoothly. And then, wow. Occasionally, I passed an automobile that had broken down, was towed to its doors to be put into running condition again.
Huh.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of broken down automobiles.
Yeah. This poor guy's been stuck here for the last 80 years.
At least, look at this. The tire has been completely eaten through
Yeah.
to the metal rim. Look at
Can you
these.
take a picture of that, huh?
Yeah.
A couple pictures, please?
They've boarded up so you can't get in.
Yeah. Wow. That is incredibly old.
Horsehair seats, the clutch, the gas.
Hence the term floorboards. They weren't
Really?
kidding, yeah.
Can you move?
Yeah. Gotta show the guys that work this.
Let's see if they can tell you what it is.
Yeah.
They think they're so good.
And look at this. I mean, almost the entire thing was made of wood except for the front end.
And the main frame. Okay, I
Right.
need to back way up.
I couldn't
Okay.
even guess on that. That's probably,
Oh, here is a path. That was nice of them.
yeah,
Oh wow, look, the tire is totally rotted off the front end.
yeah.
This is a Dodge Brothers of Detroit, USA.
I've heard of that, yeah. Before it was Dodge Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, check that out. That is probably, oh yeah,
Oh, wow.
very careful there. Oh wow. And it's using Autolite plugs.
I think those
Check that out.
I think those are recent.
You think so?
Pretty good guess.
That's incredible. It was a 4-cylinder.
Yep.
Wow, if that ain't cool.
Okay, I'm gonna close
Yeah,
this
close
here.
her up there. Too cool. My guess on this one, I'm gonna guess between 1902 and 1912, 13.
How about we try this? It's a 1918 Dodge Brothers truck.
Oh, really?
Donated by Nick Alley, ghost town photographer and author.
Oh, really?
Ha!
Okay, I was off. It looked older than that.
Yes, it did, but that's okay.
Wow. So this wasn't. This didn't come as part of the part of the town here, but it definitely fits. Okay, that's too cool. I'll check out that horizon. That is sweet. And came complete with a fire station.
That's the fire station?
Well, something. Oh yeah. I'm sure the park rangers would freak if one of these buildings caught fire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it'd go up so fast they couldn't save it.
Okay, I'm trying to decipher. Wow, there's a lot of stuff here that's not marked.
Oh yeah? Of course there's stuff on...
Across the road, there's supposed to be a bunkhouse.
Yeah?
Let's see, when we pass the boarding house, this is the actual
The Berlin Mill. Yep, this is the big one.
Wow, look at that.
Oh wow. Anyone want bricks? Check it out. Now what's that? It almost looks like a cannon. That's weird. That looks like some kind of an engine maybe, or pump of some type.
I'm not sure.
This being the largest building on the site, that is just incredible. That's a huge wheel. That's huge. I'm guessing that's what that is. Wow. Oop, lost the wife. Oh. Okay, here it kind of explains how the mill worked. From the mine to the stamps and collecting the gold and silver. Danger, do not enter. What's that?
Nothing.
Yeah, they want to make sure that nobody gets hurt here, so they've got things blocked off. I mean, someone could easily get through it, but I mean, they do it for your own protection there. And you can see why, and these wooden buildings are very, very old. What's that?
Now,
Boogies?
lots of them, and they're following me.
Boogies.
If you walk further that way and you look along the sides, you'll start to find powder magazines and blasting caps.
Hmm.
And if you go further up, we could probably take the car up, but it's starting to get dark.
Yeah.
There's more building ruins that
Oh.
way. And that's the road leading to Union and Fossils.
Fossils, okay. Now, didn't you say you also found a cemetery on the map?
Yes, it's down there somewhere. We're going to have to find the trail to take to it.
Now, here's something here. These look like maybe they were water towers or something.
I believe so.
That's kind of what those are looking like. That's what they made out of wood back then, of course. Look at that mill there. This structure is very prominent in the book that we've got. In fact, you can actually see, I believe those are mine cart tracks, not train tracks, leading right into the mill where they process the gold and silver. As you look along, you can see that some of the boards have been replaced in an attempt to keep the structure intact. This is the town of Berlin. A mere ghost of its former self.
In the winter of 1903, the large bunkhouse that stood here burned to the ground, but all the men escaped without injury. However, some of the men lost all their belongings, including bedding. The company furnished cots and mattresses only. You had to provide everything else for yourself. 3 dwelling houses were then designated as sleeping quarters for the men that had been burned out. And we follow this trail here. This will take us on a little bit more of some sites that were here. I don't know if they'll have any signs posted, but following
I see a couple other signs down.
Okay, if you follow the trail here, the next place we'll come across is the barn where the barn and corrals were once stood.
Okay. Coming across some remains here. Very scattered remains. There's not a whole lot left. There's a board there, some nails.
I'm gonna guess this was the corrals. We've got old fencing.
Yeah. Check it out. The barbed wire?
No, it wasn't barbed
wire. Oh, it wasn't barbed wire? Okay.
Yes, this is the company corrals. The large company barn and corrals covered this area. The company owned 1 buggy team, and they were kept here. The wood contractors kept a large number of mules and horses here. The mules were used to pack the wood from where it was cut to wagons which transported the wood to the mine and mill. The teams that brought freight from Austin were also corralled here. And this information here was by a resident of Berlin of 1904.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Now, just past here, we're going to come across, okay. Oh, I've got a big bug that likes us. Okay. Number
I
17.
see a piece of wood here with some electrical contacts on it.
Yeah, this was the miners' union hall we'll be coming across. I think this is still the corral area. Yeah, that's how they electrified the site.
Oh, okay. So that would identify that there. Yeah, there's a little bit of a fence. Well, yeah, you can see it there, the fence line.
See some of the old barbed wire, how it was twisted, and how different it is from today. See how it's twisted and pointed like that?
Yeah.
And the corded.
Huh.
Well, yeah, the electrical conduits, which were ceramic in their time.
Right.
It was quite interesting. It looks like there was something that once sat here.
Yeah.
I don't know what. There's no marking. It might have been a house at one time. 122 carried on union activities in a large building that stood right here. Inside was a raised platform furnished with a table, chairs, and an upright piano. Benches were used for seating on the main floor. Dances were held frequently on a necessity on Monday nights because that was the day the stage coming from Austin laid over for the rest period. The stage driver, Ed Daring, can you say that name? Ed Dryering was the only one around these parts that could play a fiddle. And with Francis or Louise McComb accompanying on the piano, they played beautifully. And this is also from the same resident of 1904.
Huh.
Doesn't say what happened to it, if it burnt down, or if it just... Because there's absolutely no remnants of it whatsoever.
Yeah. I would theorize that maybe it burnt down. Yeah, something was definitely there.
Yeah.
Either a wall, a fence, or something.
This is where the clinic stood. A tiny building beside this beautiful pinyon tree. Pinyon tree? I don't see the tree anymore.
Neither do I.
Served as a first aid center and hospital where surgery was performed. Dr. Burton was the physician and surgeon. And Mrs. Savasky was a very able nurse because patients usually recuperated at their homes. The tiny hospital was vacant most of the time. And that was right up here.
Okay.
Let me just follow this one.
The one to the right looks like maybe it was a schoolhouse.
Find out. It's starting to get dark.
Yeah.
Should have got here a bit earlier. Okay. Careful, there is a letter. This is Mrs. Phillips' home. Mrs. Kate Phillips lived here until 1907. Then she moved to Ione and opened a boarding and lodging house. Later, Will and Mac Foster resided in the building for about 20 years. During that time, they prospected a wide area and also leased on company property. Later, they gardened and raised goats. Will got sick and was taken to Tanofa, where he died in 1953. In 1954, Mac died here of a heart attack. In his book, Odyssey of a Desert Prospector, Herman W. Albert's description of the house in which he lived fits the appearance of the building at the time Mrs. Phillips moved to Ione previously. And it was very likely that Albert lived here when he was working for the company. If you look inside, it's getting kind of dark, but it's fairly small.
Yeah. Let's see a little bit in there. I'm going to use the digital gain there, but you can take a look inside. This is the site right here of Billy Bell's Saloon. It's, if you can tell, it's further away from everything else of the Milltown area. After Billy Bell and Servanio Lampa closed their saloon between Berlin and Union Canyon, Billy started his own saloon here. The floor and frame were built of lumber and two large tents were stretched end to end over it. Beer and liquor stocks were stored in an underground cellar. Beer was sold by the drink from the bottles at 15 cents per drink or 2 drinks for a quarter. Beer was kept extra cool by laying the bottles on the floor between wet burlap sacks. This was no menial task when you consider that all the water had to be hauled in empty whiskey barrels or other containers. Bar whiskey usually came in 40-gallon barrels, and it also sold at 2 drinks for a quarter. A beer bottle that held 1/5 of a gallon of whiskey sold for $1, and a gallon sold for $4 if you had the empty jug to be filled. Billy was a very likable man, and because this was the nearest saloon to town with all the path leading to it all downhill, the saloon did very well. I can imagine it. Yeah, out here.
Yeah. And if you see off to the distance, we have one lonely car coming this way.
Yes, way back there.
That we took to get here.
A very lonely road, I might add. Speaking of lonely.
We're basically on our way. We're following the path down to what was considered the cemetery at the time. I don't know what it's like, but...
Well, we'll find out.
They kept it out on the far outskirts of town, as you can see. The saloon and was the nearest thing, and then it was the cemetery.
Right.
Following this path. And if you catch a little bit off in the distance, they are having a lightning storm right over in that area.
Yeah. I think I caught a couple of lightning bolts on camera. Kind of hoping I did. It's pretty wild seeing it way back there. As we approach some very lonely souls out here.
Okay. We should have brought a flashlight.
Yeah.
To get that.
Well, we got a flash on the camera.
Yeah. And the first one, it is railed, it is fenced in, and there is a gate. I'm gonna just see.
Is it locked?
No, it's not locked. It's just a very stiff gate. It hasn't been opened in quite a while.
Well, that's okay. We don't have to open it.
I'd like a close-up view of it and see. Oh, wow. Honey, you gotta catch the detail on this. This is gorgeous. Hold this. I'm gonna see if I can open the gate. Because it's not locked. It's just, it hasn't been opened in a long time. Almost. I don't want to break it.
You're making me nervous, honey.
Okay. All right. Look down at the bottom. Look at the detail. Right there.
Excuse the digital zoom here, or the digital gain here. It's the only way we can get a good look at this because it's so dark. Oh wow.
Yeah, look at the
Looks
detail.
like ivy inscribed into it or something.
Yeah. Let me see if there's an inscription on this side. I'm gonna save to. Oh wow. There is beautiful, very beautiful. But the inscription is on the other side, and I can't see it to read it. But look at that. Somebody
wow.
really cared for this person.
Oh yeah. Looks like maybe a flower pot or something with ferns coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I'm getting here.
Okay, as you can tell, I got the gate open. No, I did not break it, I swear. This is Margaret L., beloved wife of W.E. Goldsworth. She died in May 9th, 1918, and she was 52 years old.
Ah, okay.
Now, I'm going to be a good girl. I open the gate. I'm going to close the gate.
Okay.
And because it hasn't been used in quite a while, it takes a little bit of force.
Okay.
But it's closed.
This looks like a grave marker. It's in the right shape, but it's out of wood. It's so old. I mean, who knows if we can even read anything off of it. The general concentration seems to be in this area.
Now this is intricate.
Yeah.
This is very intricate. However, there is no headstone inside.
Yeah.
So if it was, like, this has nails pointing up.
Ooh.
I'm going to say this might have been a blacksmith.
Yeah, somebody here, it's in
and
Spanish,
he died
huh?
of natural causes.
Huh. Boy.
I don't know what natural causes were at 31 years of age.
Yeah. So there's only a handful of people out here. Here's a couple more over here. Again, excuse the digital gain there. It's the only way we can see in here because it's so dark.
I thought you lost the camera.
I switched batteries. We've got a little bit left on this other one. Okay. Yeah, here's this one here. Very, very interesting. Okay, folks, that's going to do it for this edition of Road Trips. We hope you enjoyed your tour of the town of Berlin, Nevada. Not Germany, because that's just too far away to drive, you know, through water and all that kind of stuff there. But, okay. But, anybody who wants to go visit the town of Berlin, like if you're staying in Reno or somewhere in that vicinity there,
Leave earlier.
leave early. Yeah, it takes like 3 hours to get there, at least, if not longer. It seemed like forever, driving through the salt flats, and as we said earlier, you have not been in the middle of nowhere until you've been driving through the Nevada desert.
Highway 50 is definitely
the loneliest road in America. They don't call it that for nothing.
Yes.
But anyway, very interesting town. We had to cut it abruptly short there because it got dark on us. You'll notice that it's light now and we're wearing different clothes, so that's why.
Yes.
That's what happened. But that's just one of dozens, possibly hundreds of ghost towns in the state of Nevada.
Actually, there's about 5 of them within driving distance of Berlin if you want just to spend the day.
Yeah, all right around the same area. I know we passed a turnoff for Rawhide. There was one near Berlin.
Ione.
Actually, I don't know if that's a ghost town or if that's a regular.
I think
that's just a regular, like, really small town.
Yeah, but there were from what the book showed, there were some remnants of of some old.
There was another one near Berlin off on the other side, and I can't remember the name of it. That was the one where they only had like one stone building of some type left there.
I can't remember the name of it either.
But yeah, several right there. You'd have to look in the book. Definitely recommend getting Ghost Towns.
Of Nevada.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Nevada Ghost Town Trails, that's what it's called.
That's it, thank you.
Good book. So if you're in search of ghost towns, that's the book to get. But we're going to wrap the show up here from the middle of nowhere out here in the California forest. I believe this is Modoc National Forest. We're out here on, I'm assuming this is, actually this is like a Forest Service road here, because we saw an entrance when we turned off from the highway. This is off of Highway 139 on our way home here. But definitely out in the middle of nowhere. But nothing like Nevada.
Yeah, there's trees.
There's trees here. There's no trees out there. So, big difference. But anyway, while I'm rambling here, I think that's going to do it for this episode. So, for Nowhere Videos Road Trips, I'm Todd Hilton.
I'm Holly Hilton.
And we'll see you next time for the next edition of Nowhere Videos
Road Trips!